Hello. 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 How's it going, everybody? Hello. Fleece. How's it going, Fleece? Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, yeah, two streams in a row. That's seeing you here. That's like being hit by lightning twice. Okay. Never. Damn it! It almost does. Okay, there we go. R indeed. Boy, today's gonna be a struggle. I can just feel it. I woke up today tired, just tired, and I haven't stopped feeling tired yet. But can't go back to sleep. Seemingly, I can't fall back asleep, so might as well do this. Because that's something to do. How's it go? So, I don't. Yeah. We're all tired. Life is struggle. Yet somehow we continue on. Anyways. Holy heck! Onk! Hey! It does sound so aggressive. It does. Where is this? Oh, weird. Welcome, welcome. It's weird. How's everybody going? Thank you so much for the follow, Sam. Yeah. I appreciate it. No problem. Go to bed. Go to bed. Thank you. Thank you. How was everybody's how was the stream? How was life? It does, Shay, it does. You guys got me literally just as I was about to start. Sleep first, party second. We party all the time. Yeah. It's done. You know, a finished thing is a million times better than a unfinished thing, you know. I'm sure it's great. So what's everybody working on these days? Is your cat practically... Ooh. Cats are notoriously good criminals. Very sneaky. Very underhanded. It's almost like they're a Napoleon of crime. Of cat crime. Napoleon of cat crime. Most likely a priceless jewel of some sort. I assume your cat is probably some international jewel thief who, during the day, will fly to Paris or Monaco or Liechtenstein to rob expensive, fancy jewels. A jewel-based abacus, then, I assume. Now, what would the Prince of Monaco need with an abacus? That's the question. Okay, let's get in the head. I am the grandson, I believe, of Grace Kelly. Dun dun dun. Of course, their arch nemesis is a brilliant detective dog who's the only one who can match their genius. Cats and dogs. Yeah. Party. Party all the time. We're at 940 followers. Yes, very nice. That means, I don't know what that means. We're getting close to 1,000. Would be nice. Fleece, how dare you? I trusted you. Yeah, go to bed. You don't know, maybe the brilliant dog detective placed a tracking device in that candle. No, go to bed, Fleece. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go to bed. Go to bed, Fleece. It's good seeing you. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. You have work. Or whatever. You have tomorrow. Exactly. Exactly. One plans the crimes, but the other one commits it. This is it's a whole Ocean's 11's thing. So, very fun. Where did she get that? That's cool. Cats are sneaky creatures. Yeah. That's fun. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with a schedule. I'd like yeah, it's just hard. That's why if I ever start like a web serial, which I really want to do, uh, I want to like build up a good back catalog first. Yeah. Yeah. It's difficult. I cats there. Uh yeah. So Fleece, Samir, Faye, what what are you guys? What should we do today? I'm still not sure what I want to do today. What are you guys doing today? Fleece should be going to bed. What should I read? Yeah, I mean, I think that works. I mean, you're doing a weekly chapter. People can't expect it to be good. Yeah, like really precisely edited every time. That's the trade-off. You know, you can't get really like intense. Oh no, it's just a good magician, Samir. Faye, you can fake that. You can fake that. It's just a pretty trick of like perception. Faye, are you sure it's not a magician? Quick, examine around. See if there's any tiny top hats and canes, wands that turn into flowers. Yes, but not well. They're not any good at it. Oh, you know what's really important? What does your cat think about Mondays? Are they fans of Mondays? Because I know of this cat, and let me tell you, they are not fans of Mondays. They are fans of pizza and television. Yes. Who is this Garfield? This is Guy Deli for Arg. Deli for Garg. Deli for Ga. Deli for Garg. Yeah. Actually, according to Jim Davis, the original plan was for Garfield's favorite food to be pizza, but pizza's harder to draw than lasagna, so he made it lasagna. That is a stupid fact I read in a Garfield book as a kid years ago, and I've always remembered it. I was very obsessed with Garfield as a kid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Garfield was assassinated by. No, it's James Garfield. James A. Garfield assassinated by Charles DeGaulle, I think. No, is it? Only about a month in. Was succeeded to the presidency by Chester A. Arthur. Chester A. Arthur then was followed by. Yes, by Nermal. Yes. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so the Assassins music, the Assassins musical that Stephen Sondheim wrote is really good, and Charles de Gaulle is his song is one of the best ones. Now, Odie is clearly the Chester A. Arthur of this world. He's him and Garfield never totally got along, but he feels compelled to act in the presidency as the best way possible. Act as president as best way possible after Garfield is assassinated, and goes against his old friends in the New York. Goes against his old friends, the New York bosses. Also, Odie, much like Chester A. Arthur, early in his career, defended a big civil rights case to desegregate railway cars in New York. Also, they never mentioned this in Garfield, but like Chester A. Arthur, Odie has a form of kidney cancer. Or has a that he kept secret throughout his entire presidency. I know a lot about Chester A. Arthur. It's the bit here is I know a surprising amount of about the whole James Garfield and Chester A. Arthur. Garfield, fun fact, like President Garfield, was not intended to be the presidential campaign that year, but through a he was actually just the manager of the guy who they wanted. But through a chaotic convention, he became the presidential nominee. They never really get that far into it in the comic book, but it's all there if you look into the background. Yeah, I wanted to write maybe a book about this whole situation because it's a pretty bizarre story. Yeah, it's a shame it didn't work. People, In real life, Garfield seemed actually to be a pretty cool dude, uh, and people were very enthusiastic about his presidency. So he might have ended up being a really good president if they had, yeah. Well, it was not Charles de Gaulle. It's a French name. Who assassinated James Garfield? Godot. Yeah, Godot. Charles J. Godot. That's who it was. The whole. I was quite fascinated by the. Yeah, I was waiting for it. Yeah, this. I don't know. Doesn't look like a guy who would assassinate a president. Normal. What are you talking about? That man looks as sane as a caterwaller. He there's some there's great stories about him. Yeah. So fun story. He was part of he was part of a free love commune. But like one of the things he was really upset about was that he was part of this like free love commune in the like and they no, nobody would sleep with him. Oh, hey Tato. Hey, how's it going, young person? That I thought I could who just popped up here right as I made it. Anyways. Yeah, we were talking about James Garfield. President of the United States. No, it's just water. Nah, it's just mineral water. How's it going, Tate? Go to bed. Go to bed. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like it. I drink a ton of it. Ooh, what did you guys decide? And hello, Derp. Yes, we are. We are, presumably. I was going to do a whole sprint, but we're just hanging out and chatting, so I'll just write while we chat for a bit. Okay. Sleep. Are you just yeah. Are you just typing like in your sleep? Oh, there we go. That makes sense. Go to sleep, fleece. Yes. I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I'm happy. Well, you know, cats. Worshippers of chaos. The great chaos god. What's chaos god? I know. I think Eris, but god of chaos. Yes, it is. Let's see. Eros. No, Nyx. Yeah, it's not. It's 148 for me, so we're not that far off. Yes, it does. Oh, and Warhammer. Nurgle. Harris. Yeah, I know. Oh, whatever. Actually, the proper time is what metric time is it? It is actually the appropriate and better clock is metric time, and we all know it. So currently, right now, it is 76:25 o'clock. Yeah, oh, the Discordians. I'm aware of them. I forgot how to say it briefly. Yeah. Oh, I read the guy who the guy who founded that was. No, we're base 10 every day here. More efficient. Better. If I could, I would do everything in metric time. Okay. Oh, awesome. I'm base 10 till I die. Is it like the movie Elf? Or is it just about an elf? Did they steal my idea? Ah, yes. Who are you auditioning to play? Clearly, I know so much about this. The Babylonians. Bah. They. I'm writing. I'm writing. I'm slowly. I've opened the document, please. I've opened the document. I think you can get. I think you can get Josie. Not going out for Buddy. Well, that'd be really great, Tato, if you get that. Actually, numbers don't exist. Actually, all circles are squares. that's annoying. Nope. I can never get the camera just in the right place. Okay. Okay. Well, that's really cool. Have you ever done like a musical before? Nice book. I am working very hard right now. What's your story about? Metric timer. I know. I know it's a musical. Have you ever done a musical before? Oh, come on. What? Things keep crashing on me. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good goal. Okay. Well, that's very fun, Tato. Yeah. And that's a good way to look at it. Of course, we're all cheering for you. Cheering for you. But yeah, that's a good, I would say that's a very good way to look at it. Shut up. Mm-hmm. Cool. So So is that a thing you're interested in performing? So is it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, basis. Yep. Um, so is that a thing you're interested in? Is like performing and stuff? I've recently been down the rabbit hole. I listened to a music on YouTube, listened to a musical on YouTube, and all the like different regional variation, like different variations from around the world are now popping up into my recommends, and it's been very surreal to like hear them. So I've been in the Broadway mindset a little bit. Yeah. What do you Avatar? Oh yeah, Avatar. You know the airbending, Aang, uh, Aang, the firebenders. That's what you're talking about, right? Avatar. I know this Avatar. The other one. The other one. Oh yes, of course. The 1916 Italian film directed by Tofio, based on the 1856 novel. Yes, that's the exact one you're talking about. Of course, it's. Wait, you have a copy of it? It's been lost for nearly 100 years. You should connect to the Italian Film Preservation Board. Or Avatar Ultima. Oh yes, the Smurfs. I love the Smurfs with their famous catchphrase, "Let's get Smurpy with it." Or are you talking about the 2004 Singaporean film Start, where in the far future of 2019, nearly everyone is implanted with a microchip connected to the cybernet. Criminals use fake chips known as SIMs, simulated identity implants. Bounty hunter Dash McKenzie is looking for a man who bought a sim and uncovers a game played by corruption heads to manipulate society. Production. Avatar was the first English language film produced in Singapore. Filming took place in Singapore from April. That's the one you mean, right? This one? Ah. I just know. I just know. Yeah, it is funny that yeah, the poster is quite blue. That could be a sequel to Avatar. It starred Dave Warner. Yeah, it's the prequel, obviously. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely the prequel. Yeah, they're Velociraptor Smurfs. Okay, I was thinking about this recently. You know, geological evidence states that dinosaurs, T Rexes, uh, lived in the U.S. So I was thinking, why don't we make like dinosaurs the official dinosaur of America? They're as important as they're important American symbol as any of these other things. Think about it. Our money adorned with beautiful T Rexes carrying the American flag with 52 stars. Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C., of course. Yeah. But I want us to get really into like the T Rex as an idea for as an American symbol. Like I want it to be, we need an official American dinosaur. Uh-huh. What is this? Oh yes, the ooh, the Forever Cheese Cult. Oh, oh, you're gonna mess some people up. But I think it's important. We don't think about cheese enough and how good it is. And it's probably like, some god of some sort. And I think once we achieve cheese that can last forever, all of society will be cured. Yes. Cheese. Cheese for everyone. They did. It's surreal. And, this might not be true. I heard it in history class years ago, but I once heard that they found tobacco uh, in mummies, like in well, I can just look this up if this is actually true. Why can't I say it? In like Egyptian sarcophagus. Oh my god! Did they really find tobacco with mummies? Oh no, no. There's a lot. There's a lot of things that aren't. Okay, according to London Global University, there's a lot of like holes in that. Okay, never mind. That would be pretty cool because yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that's why it's like a cool idea because if that's true, then somehow Egyptians may have had some sort of contact with native peoples, but at least according to this thing I'm reading, the science seems pretty shoddy and possibly wrong. Contamination is something that, yeah, yeah. Well, that's what would be cool. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. That's a more likely thing. I hadn't heard that. Yeah, but that makes a lot more sense that the Polynesians would have contact with New World stuff because the Polynesians were the greatest sailors in history. Tato, weren't you born near Christmas or on Christmas? Like, didn't you? Aren't you like a Christmas baby? Yes, that makes sense. You know, Tato, you are the second person I know who I have a very good friend uh, who was born on Christmas Eve. So you're the second person I've met who's been born right around Christmas. That is very preppy, right? It's a weird. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that 100% would make sense. I would believe that. That's a very easy thing to believe that the Polynesians had contact. I don't think the Egyptians would have had contact. That wouldn't have made any sense. Yeah. Well, if the what were they? Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, I think wouldn't it be like easy to tell if there's like DNA, South American DNA in um, Polynesia? Like if like yeah, yeah. It's quite wild to think. I was thinking about this recently. I wonder why. Like I'm sure there's a bunch of historical reasons. I haven't really looked into it. Isn't it curious that China never had a colony in the New World, like in the Americas? I was thinking about this recently. Like it feels like they could have, right? I don't know. I'm probably. I mean, were they under the control of the British at the time? Maybe that's the reason. I was thinking about this recently. Yeah. So, are you excited for Christmas, Tate? Oh, what are you gonna do? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What was the last one? I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Let's see. When was YouTube founded? I think I'm older than YouTube, so I think there's no comments older than me. Let's see. When was YouTube founded? Yeah, 2005. Netflix was founded in 2000 in 1997? That's wild. I mean, I know it was a delivery thing for a while. It's just weird to think it's that old. Yeah, I know, Faye. I know that. I have used that service before. I use that service. I used it back when Netflix was just a DVD person. Uh yeah. Do you have any special plans for? I mean, discounting if you get the get the gig. Oh, here's a question. When was the World Wide Web founded? Okay. Yeah. 1989. So it's a few years older than me. Yeah. I saw that came out. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Usenet and all that stuff. What happened? Oh no! Did the duck? Because they're not on Twitch. They're on YouTube, Faye. They're on YouTube. Yeah, that's the that's the secret. I am multi-streaming this. Oh. Yeah. Yes, I am using a thing called BitRocks. Or here you go. Or Botrex. I always forget how to say it. Botrex. And what it does is it combines several of your chats into one box that you can display. It's pretty convenient. Now, technically, we must be clear. This is technically against Twitch's terms of service to do this. But as long as none of you snitch on me, I should be fine. And if I guess there's an ad break on Twitch. We're not talking during. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So as long as I like, there's no cross chat here, we should be fine. As long, yeah. So I don't know. It's just easier. I wanted to multi-stream, but I wanted to make sure that everybody could follow what everybody else was saying. So this was the best way to do it. I don't know. Expands. Yeah. I figured out how to do it all for free. Some people pay money for Restream. I don't. It is so last century. Yeah, let's see. Not to brag, but this is like the one time I figured out how to do coding, so I've always been like kind of proud of myself because I had to figure out how to do the GitHub stuff to kind of get this all to work. But if you see it right here, all this stuff, this is how I can theoretically multi-stream to pretty much every service, any service I want. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. They walk you through how to do it, but this is so all I have to do is click here, and I can stream to different places. But and then I use BitRocks to combine the chats. Yeah, I felt smart doing that. And I had I've had friends who pay for Restream, and I felt very smug when I figured out how to do it for free. Okay. Yeah. No, I did TikTok for a while. I do have I do I deactivated my account there. Yeah, I agree with you. It is pretty aggressive. I do still have my account there, and theoretically I could I well, TikTok doesn't play like yeah, it's annoying. TikTok doesn't let you use OBS necessarily. You have to use their own streaming thing. Hey Robin. Yeah. Well, toxic positivity always leads to that stuff because. Yeah, I got pretty burnt out with using TikTok. I developed an okay. I developed like I had like 15,000 followers over there, and I was like, and I was just like on it, and I was mad all the time. I was like so frustrated the whole time. Good, good Tato. Don't go on TikTok. And I don't know. It's essentially Twitter but with video. It's essentially what it is. It's pretty much the same thing but Twitter video. So that's very cool. I'm good. Theoretically, we're going to write tonight, but we're procrastinating. Yeah. What did you think of Twitter, Tato? I used to do Twitter a lot, and then it got. I don't know. I have this theory that, like, in the end, all those, like, algorithm based, like, short form things will hone in on. The only thing they'll hone in precisely on everything that makes you angry, and it's just like you need to leave it once they figure that out how to make you angry and miserable because they know that keeps you on there. And it's like once it starts doing, I have the theory once. Hey, Douglas. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. And I hope you're having fun. How's staying with your cousin, Robin? I'm doing good. Theoretically, we're gonna write today, but yeah, it's it's gonna take a while. We're procrastinating on that. Yeah, it's just rage bait. Well, especially now since like Elon took over, it's become nothing but that. Like, cause like you can now make money from engagement. So people just like post anything to try and get engagement there, and it's awful. That's fun. Have you guys? Yeah, I agree, Tato. I agree. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Douglas. I assume you're a goat of some sort. So, Tato, elf. Douglas is the goat. So you're like you're a goat who's learned how to type. That's very cool. Uh, Tato, what would you say your favorite musical is? Oh, that's great. You're the greatest goat of all time? You're King Goat? Emperor Goat? Goat Simulator Goat? Very fun. I mean, no, that counts. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure that counts. I have a Romanian friend. I really wish they were here right now. I'm sure they'd have thoughts. Has he ever been on a date before? Let's see. Very cool, Douglas. Very cool. Let's see. I just thought of something. I'll be more true. I'm trying to think. Trying to think of appropriate shows to recommend you, Tato. That's very cool. How much Roblox have you been playing? Oh, Tato plays Roblox. These are two things I know. Okay, is that with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell? Ah, I was gonna recommend. I think you might like Be Chill, Be More Chill. That might be up your alley, Tato. There's also would Hades Town be appropriate? Hades Town is really good at. Yeah, I think that'd be okay. It's sad. Yeah. Oh, you like racing games? Hmm. I too know what those are. Uh, uh, have you? Very cool. Ever thought about getting into iRacing? I have a friend who's very into racing games. Yeah. Yes, this is what I was trying to set up with Tato. Yeah, Tato, have you ever thought about joining a cheese based cult on Roblox, Douglas? Yeah, yeah. Faye, I always think people aren't as subtle as they think they are. Usually, yeah. Well, it's why. Oh, no, oh, it's why I joined Scientology. Imagine if I actually did that. Uh, I was about to make a really edgy joke right there, but I'm not going to. Yeah, Douglas, have you thought about it now? It's funny. I think. Okay, Doug. Nice talking. I'm not going to make the joke that I'm not going to make the joke I initially thought of. I'm not going to make the joke I initially thought of. Okay, here's the joke. Yeah, we should all join. Okay, here's the joke. Okay, yeah, we should all join a joke cult at some time. That's why I'm a Christian. Oh! Edgy joke, edgy joke, edgy joke, edgy 14-year-old joke. That would be funny if you were 14 and on Reddit. Okay, Doug. Nice talking to you. I've I have an aunt who follows me. I don't know if she's following me anymore, and I've gotten in trouble for. I have this very religious aunt who follows me, and I've gotten in trouble for maybe posting some content that it was never I've never been negative towards things, but I have been like I guess uh maybe I take things a little less seriously than she would like, and it's been very. This has been a source of drama in the family for a bit of time, and I'm very annoyed by her constantly doing this. So, um, and it's just been it's been lighthearted jokes, and I've been yelled at a few times. Yeah, yeah. Hey, it can slowly get more and more culty over time. So part of me is trying to resist getting into more trouble. Part of me is trying to resist getting in more trouble, but part of me really likes really likes to do it. So Tato, are you excited? Because it's very annoying. Like I've wanted her to stop following me, yeah, for a while, but it's been very annoying. Don't worry, Tato. Soon, I I don't know. It's I don't know. It actually reached a boiling point a few weeks ago, but and I blocked her on my phone. But that is that. Tato, do you like SpongeBob SquarePants? See, Faye, here's the thing. If I knew her YouTube account, I would just block her. I would just block her and be done with it because she wouldn't pick up that she's blocked, and I can just move on with my life. But I don't know what her YouTube account is, so I can't get at her. My biggest regret was like making my personal YouTube account into my main YouTube account. If I were to do this over again, life advice for everybody. By the way, life advice for everybody. Life advice for everybody. Do not tell your family members about your YouTube account. Do not use your personal YouTube account. If you want to start a YouTube channel, do not use your personal YouTube account. And I guess that's it. Don't do those two things. Because it will come back to haunt you. Like it did me. Um, there was a SpongeBob musical, right? Yeah. Oh, she doesn't know how to comment. I'm telling you. Okay, so Faye, she is like a Victorian woman. Essentially, she has like the morality of a Victorian woman. Um, who doesn't morality of a Victorian woman who understands how to kind of use the internet, and she understands what YouTube is, but she doesn't know anything else besides that. Like she's legitimately a former nun. Like legitimately, she was a former nun, and she was kind of. And the other nuns were actually really glad when she quit because they said she was too strict. And fortunately, my mom has always been on my side with this whole thing, and she said she always finds it funny. And I'm streaming this on YouTube, but I know she doesn't watch these, so I don't care if I say these things. My mom always jokes that she finds it funny she's so kind of self-righteous about all this stuff because she was not like that when she was a teenager. Yeah. You know, when I was a teenager, I was I. Oh no! Oh no! Are you gonna send me more weird texts about how I'm worshiping Satan? Ugh, that was a fun time. This or get into arguments with me about evolution. Yeah, didn't like put. You know, okay, so this is gonna be weird because like, you know, people don't like this person now for very justifiable reasons. But when I was a kid, she told me to burn my Harry Potter books. And okay, so real fun fact about me. Not fun fact. I don't know, but I could never pay attention enough to finish reading Harry Potter. I would start it and I'm just like, I'm good. So, but I but I was always I kept them specifically because I was annoyed by that because she told me that I had to burn them. Oh, it's so stupid. All this stuff is so stupid. All this like yeah D&D and Pokemon and oh pimp. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you. Yeah, it's a fun thing to read in the fourth grade. I agree with that. Ah, thank you so much. Pimp is now my favorite. Yeah. So what would you? So Tato, what house were you in? What was your house? No, but seriously, thank you. Hey, I'm a rape. That's what I got. That is so funny, Faye. Oh my god, that is so funny. That you had to come out as a as an RPG player. That is so funny. I don't know if I'll play this. But, it's so short. I don't know. I get anxious about playing videos, but I want to show you a video. I love this video so much. That is legitimately a very funny thing. It's 21 seconds. If you were to so Pim, yeah. I mean, I do. So I imagine so. Oh right, yeah, yeah. Also, don't like the author. Before I go further, don't like the author of Harry Potter. Okay, I'll leave it at that. I don't. Yeah, don't like the author. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get into it. That was one of that was one of the worst. That was a really bad argument. That the anyways, she says bad things and is hurting people. Anyways, okay. But I mean, it was good. Yeah. Sorry. Have you noticed we've gone about an hour and a half and I haven't written a word? But Pim, thank you again so much for the right? Isn't that a great video? That's like your situation. I thought it was so funny because that's like exactly your situation. Yeah, yeah. We don't have to get into it. We don't have to get into it. It's been well documented, but yeah, just wanted to make clear. This is the video I was talking about. I don't. I think it's funny. Yeah. I'm trying to think who the first trans person I ever met was. I think Faye. Yeah, I think college was the first time I also met a trans person. Yeah. It's a funny little video. You watched oh, now I'm trying to think of something really innocuous. Sailor Moon. You watched Sailor? No, no, no. What's something like really innocuous? Sorry, I'm a little bit off today. My sleep schedule is so shitty. I'm aware of. What's like something so card capture Sakura. Do you like how? Yes, that was great, wasn't it? Also, I'm not steampunk. What? No, you can't beat that. I love that channel so much. Like a Fox, they're so funny. I watch their videos all the time. I upload these on YouTube, so I don't feel like if I was just streaming this and that would be it, I would be fine with that. But I don't feel right like watching other people's videos if I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. Like that's I guess my limit. So that's hilarious. That's the Chronicles of Narnia. If you guys don't know, if you guys don't know, C.S. Lewis, super duper Christian, a very Christian man. That is so funny. Like Aslan is pretty much like I believe in later books it's implied Aslan is literally Jesus. Like is like it's not even so much a metaphor as like he might literally just be Jesus in a new form. Yeah. 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 Well, yeah. Very famous. Yeah. Yeah. Hope that. I mean, it's a good book. I like it. I like C.S. Lewis. I don't know if you guys have ever read a really fun thing from C.S. Lewis is the Screw Tab or the Screw. I always forget how to say it. The Screw Tab tapes. Or the Screw Tab letters. Yeah, which is I love the Screw Tab letters because it's about a demon It's about a demon writing to his screw up nephew about how to properly try and get somebody properly damned, and it's like this elaborate parody of like corporate culture. Yeah, yeah. Tolkien was very devout too. Yeah, those are really fun. Those are really fun if you want to like. Yeah, he was. I mean, I'm sure he had some real retrograde thoughts, but he could be really fun. Um, did you ever read or watch the Chronicles of Narnia, Tato? The Chronicles. What? The Chronicles. What of Narnia? Jeez. Yes, they were part of the Inklings. I know that. They were part of the Inklings, which was a club at Oxford, which was an informal club at Oxford. Were they? Was it? It was Oxford, right? They were professors at Oxford that talked about literature and like fantasy and stuff. Yeah, I like those. I always thought those were quite funny. I've always I like that idea that he had that hell should not be like fire and brimstone. It should be like the most soul crushing thing possible. So he made it like an office. I always thought that was such a good idea. That's like, ugh, yeah, uh, make America. Uh, yeah, that could work. That could work. Um, you could try. Um, I'm trying to think of a bit. I don't know. I live in a somewhat conservative neighborhood, and it's nothing but Trump advance posters. All over the place, and it's like, yeah, cast it into Mount Doom. Uh, or like the or like a set. No, no, no. Faye, to destroy it, you have to cast it into the fires that made it. So a septic tank. I'm being political here. Ooh, take that, Trump. Yeah. Anyways, at an hour and no, you have to cast it into a septic tank. That's what I'm. A septic tank is full of poop. That's the bit. Yeah, aka the RNC. Yeah. I hate. Yeah, I picked up on your thing. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow today. Uh, hey, hey, Faye. I don't take insults like that kindly. That's insulting to septic tanks. That's insulting to septic tanks to compare them to the RNC. Septic tanks have a use. Ugh. I've been there with you, Tato. I have been there with you. Oh, I've been there with you. Man, or do what I did, which was fight my dad the whole time for years about politics. Or Tato, do this. Say it's unchristian to care about worldly desires like that. They won't question it. Yeah, that was a fun time. I don't know. I'm just trying to. Anyways, not to get super political. But you have all the sympathy in the world there, Tato. I have been there. That is definitely something we've all gone through. Boy, don't you? Sorry, don't you just love? It's fun that um, it's fun that the Democrats who are not great, yeah, are kind of anyway. No, not gonna get into it. It's a whole, but they are definitely the better option than the other one. That's what I'll say. They are definitely the better option. Not, anyways. Uh, yeah, yeah. There it is. Yeah. I have issues with. I don't want. Sorry, I feel like I'm on the toe of getting mad at things, and I don't feel like doing that right now. I'm mad enough. I try here. I try and avoid that. Uh, yeah. I mean, there's a whole long history of this. Well, because it's it just kind of makes more logical sense to do it. It's because then you can get I don't know, you can get so here's the thing. Here's the thing. I agree, Tato. I agree. Here's the thing. Political parties will always be a thing in the U.S. Until we reform the way we vote, if that makes sense. Uh, we have a problem. Okay, so there's political thing I support. Ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting. It means that people will actually pick their will more accurately pick their priorities and not just try and vote against other people. Yeah, yeah. Although I'll throw this out there. Throw this out there. Both England, people point out stuff like England and stuff. England's government is also pretty darn useless. So it's not the multiple party thing isn't necessarily the only thing. I agree, but it's like third parties, even in places that have multiple parties, the leaders. I mean, Australia's government. I don't know. I would argue. The leader it tends to coalesce into two major parties, but there'll be multiple side parties. What tends to happen is that there'll be a middle a middle a center. Anyways, whatever. I'm not in the mood. Uh, hey Gareth, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I agree, Tato. Yeah, I agree, Tato. Yes, there should be. There's ways to ensure that, but it hasn't worked yet. Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. I think to a level. I mean, Well, first, okay, so like the thing is, first you got to reform voting, and then you got to reform voting so that we can do more digital voting, so that, and then we can then do direct democracy. The problem with like direct democracy right at this moment is that it's um, like we would have to just do our voting and polling system the way it works now, and I just don't think that would be efficient. I think like online voting, like something they have like in Estonia, would work really well for us, but you would have to do massive reforms of voting, and it's like I agree. I think it would be great. Countries like Estonia, which is a country I like, has online voting, and like voting is like voting turnouts are super high there. Um, that's why we need ranked voice. I also think we should possibly increase the number of well, a big problem is like representatives have like 1,000. You know, I forget what it was. Then it's like they estimated it's like 10,000 representatives or people for every one representative or something. I forget the exact number. And the reason for we probably need to expand. Yeah, I know. It's great. It's great, Misha. I love it. I love what they did. That it's amazing. Like it's kind of it's like, and I'm like, we should just do that. Why aren't we doing that? But yeah, it's pretty like I don't know. It's pretty darn smart. They have a very well run system over there that I'm very fascinated by. Um, so it's like we would need to probably expand the House of Representatives, which that means we would need a constitutional amendment to do that. I think because they capped it off, and there's no reason that we should have this limited amount of representatives that we do. But the only reason it's limited, by the way, if you don't know, the reason why we limited it is because we were running out of space in the House. So we should just build a bigger house. Uh, maybe turn. I don't know. There's a ton of things you could theoretically do. Because what that means is like there's no like. Yeah. Like get ranked choice voting is so good because it allows people to actually select more accurately what they want. Because the problem is like problem with our voting system right now is part of it is a lot of it's gamified. Yeah, a lot of it's gamified. So we have to, because it's people aren't really so much voting for their party as voting against the other party, and we have to find a way to like fix that. In some way. And obviously, I'm a political scientist and I know everything, so people should trust me on this. And do I get worried every time politics gets brought up here? Because the more you talk about it, the more like people get. You risk the chance of somebody really angry coming in and screaming at you. Yes, has that happened a bunch of times? Yes, yes, that has, and it's never been fun. Yeah, yeah. I still think fundamentally that yeah. Hey, Penguin. Yeah, I mean, if you look at pretty much every place that does have multiple parties, though, it's pretty much one general left lean, center left party, and one right center right part. No, it's not you. It's like every time I've brought something up, we eventually like some jackass comes in here and like screams at me for like being a communist or something, or saying racist stuff or anti-Semitic stuff, which is and I'm not Jewish, but they'll scream. Yeah, so I get nervous. I don't like it though. I don't like. We got a lot of problems in the nation. I agree. Uh, yeah. Yeah. I agree. Hmm. So writing. Yes, I agree. Tato has the right idea. Mini golf. One game of mini. One game of mini golf. Winner takes all. Loser gets eaten by a lion. We have to keep it fair. The loser, and then the winner after 8 years also gets eaten by a lion. I think it's fair. I you will agree with me that that is fair. You will agree with me that that is fair. Every at the end at the end of a at the end of their term at the end of their term they get eaten by a lion. Would mean the people who really want to help. Oh, okay, here's a good question. Oh, okay, Faye, you've got me thinking. Okay, every presidents. What do you think their what do you think what class do you think each president would play? Like what class and race? Like what type of character do you think each president would play? Yes, we'll let a moldy piece of cheese be the absolute monarch. Yeah. Trump would obviously pick a. Yes, this is a this is a question that good enough for a BuzzFeed article. No, I no, Garrett. I think Trump would pick a fighter. I think he would see fighter and just pick fighter. I think he would pick like it's like I no Trump would not go for like any like he just picked fighter. He's like, yeah, I'll be a fighter. Uh, Obama, wizard. Biden, yeah, Biden. What would Biden be? I can see a druid. Yes, I can see druid or yeah. Let's go with druid. Bush. What would Bush be? Bush would be a paladin. Bush would be a paladin. Clinton. Okay, Clinton. You must agree would be a bard. Clinton, you must agree would be a bard, right? Clinton has to be the bard. Okay, this is all coming together. Um, yeah, yeah, that's all agreed. Uh, yes, agreed, agreed. Okay. Bush Senior. I don't know. What would Bush Senior be? 1,000 points of light. How about yeah, Reagan is definitely yeah, but yeah, I agree. Bush, yeah, no, I think he's too much of a nerd. Is the thing. I think Bush Senior is too much of a nerd. I think I'm gonna go. He feels like a magic. He feels like a magic user, like a guy. Yeah, yeah. Reagan is definitely a paladin. Carter. First of all, Carter is a dwarf. First of all, I don't know what class he is, but he's definitely a dwarf, and possibly a cleric. I'm going. Yes, I agree. Yes, cleric. This is a fun game. I'm enjoying this game. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Ford. What would Ford be? Ford, he's kind of, yes. Uh, Tato, if you don't know, Jimmy Carter, who just recently turned 100. So Ford was Nixon's vice president. He's the only president to never be elected. Yeah, Ford feels like a ranger. He's also known as sort of a dumb guy. He's a good-looking dumb guy. Yeah, Ford Ranger. Oh, Faye, that's clever. That's clever. Okay, Nixon. That's the big one. Who would? We'll only go back so far. Who would Nixon be? Yes, I was literally about to say that. Nixon has to be a warlock. Ford Range. Yeah, what would Kamala be? Okay. Then after Nixon is Johnson. Yes. After Nixon is Johnson, and Johnson would be, I don't know, Kamala. I don't know. I think Kamala is a wizard. I think Kamala would be a wizard. Yeah, yeah, a rogue, but I feel like a warlock fits perfect. Yeah. Johnson. Okay, I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with like fighter, just a warrior again for Johnson. He's a big guy. He's a tough guy. He's a big guy. He's a tough guy. I'm gonna go with Johnson. Kennedy would be a. Kennedy is another bard. Then Eisenhower. Okay, Eisenhower. What would Eisenhower be? Yeah. I think Eisenhower is just another fighter. You got a point there. Yeah, he's more. I mean, Johnson is. Yeah, he's a big guy. He's a pusher though. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Okay, let's make him an artificer. Then okay. What would Eisenhower? Eisenhower. Yeah. No, Kennedy's a bard. Kennedy's another bard. And Eisenhower. What would Eisenhower be? Yeah. Would Eisenhower be a? I'm just gonna go with a fighter. You like how How am I able to remember all these? Okay, it's Eisenhower. Yes, Eisenhower, then Truman, then Roosevelt, then Hoover. Ooh, yeah, he's definitely a paladin. You know what, Garrett? You're right. He's definitely a paladin. I agree. He's a paladin. And Hoover, yeah, Hoover feels artificer. Then it was Coolidge. No, no, it was Wilson. Right? It was Wilson was next, right? Wilson. It was Wilson. Where's Cool? No, it was Coolidge then Wilson. No, no, it's Wilson. Yeah. Hmm. I don't know. Teddy feels like a classic adventurer. Okay, people are saying Teddy is a druid. I'll go with druid. I always get Coolidge. I always forget where Coolidge is in the lineup. Yeah, yeah. We're Frank FDR. I don't. What would we say FDR is? Yeah, because it's Wilson, then Taft, then Teddy, right? It's Wilson, Taft, Teddy, McKinley. No, because Taft comes after Teddy. Yeah, I agree. Because it's Taft comes after Teddy because there's that whole split. Um, Teddy, then was it Coolidge? I guess it was Coolidge. Then yeah, yeah. I used to be able to do this from memory. I used to be able to do this from memory. Uh, do all the presidents in order. It's been a while. It's kind of bugging me that I forgot what it is. FDR. Oh yeah, Hoover. Okay, yeah, it was Hoover, Calvin Coolidge, Warren G. Harding. Oh, by the way, Warren G. Harding, another guy that definitely would be a bard. Warren G. Harding would definitely be a bard. By the way, just throwing that out there. Calvin Coolidge, Warren G. Harding, William Howard Taft, Theodore Roosevelt, McKinley, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, Chester A. Arthur, James A. Garfield, Rutherford B. Hayes, Ulysses S. Grant, Andrew Johnson, Lincoln, Buchanan, Pierce, Zachary Taylor, James K. Polk. Okay, yeah. I always find it funny. Doesn't Millard Fillmore look a lot like Alec Baldwin? Like, doesn't he look a lot like Alec Baldwin? And Franklin Pierce. Probably one of our worst presidents, Franklin Pierce, but probably one of our better looking ones. But unfortunately, one of the absolute worst. James Buchanan, the worst. Now I'm just giving thoughts on presidents. Anyways, this. Yeah, definitely a. Yeah, FDR would be like. Yeah, I agree. Uh, yeah, maybe an artificer with like I don't know, wizard. A lot of presidents could theoretically be made wizards. I guess. Uh, if you really think about it. Yeah. Now the question is, what race would like what race of yeah. What's the one? I'm gonna go druid slash barbarian. Isn't that the one that can like just dominate? Yeah. No, no, no. FDR is definitely not a rogue. Teddy would be more like a rogue, I think. Teddy is a ranger. Garrett, yes, Misha, you are 100% correct. That is what Teddy is. Teddy is 100% a ranger with some druid. Yes, that is 100% what Teddy would be. Would be a ranger. And uh, so speaking of rangers, slowly segueing into what the stream was supposed to be. How about writing? You guys want to do some writing? Yes. You guys want to write? Yeah. Oh, you know who would be a barbarian? I'm going to throw this out there. You know who would be a barbarian? Very obvious barbarian. Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson would be a barbarian. Like Jackson literally like beat people that he didn't agree with. Like he would just run around like beating people. Yeah. Yeah, Grant would probably. Yeah, Grant has kind of the noble knight thing going. Very possibly, like, maybe a paladin, but like, let's see. Now, John Quincy Adams. There's a man. This is a man who has some sort of sorcerer abilities, right? Like this is a magic user of some sort. This is a wizard. You put a wizard hat on this man, he's there already. He just needs the proper hat. Look at this. Look at this. That's a wizard. Good point. Good point. Who would be a monk? Yes, he was. He was like the fun fact about John Quincy is one of my favorite lesser known presidents. John Quincy was the ambassador to Russia at the age of 15. Um, I mean, Rutherford B. Hayes looks like a monk. Rutherford B. Hayes is kind of monkish, although he's pretty wizardy too, honestly. Let's see. Yeah. I could see Kennedy as a sorcerer. Let's see. Hmm. It's funny how old pictures all make presidents look like they have skulls. Like they're just. I mean, they all do have skulls, but you can really see their skull in old pictures. Let's see. Okay, we figured out kind of up to Kennedy. We've kind of Truman. Let's see. What would Truman be? You know who would be a monk? Calvin Coolidge would be a monk. I don't even think like Calvin Coolidge. Like Coolidge barely talked. He's silent. He or maybe a rogue. Yeah, no, it's also a thing like with like how pictures work in back in the time is that they really emphasize this. I read a whole article once about it. It's like the way like pictures worked. They emphasize like the craggliness of everybody, so uh, to kind of over the top level. But yeah, Coolidge is a monk. Calvin Coolidge, 100% monk. Yeah. So it's like you can't. They didn't. So like they didn't actually look this like wrinkly and craggly. That was what the camera was doing. I forget exactly what it was, but that's kind of the way it worked. I mean, kind of a wizard, right? Or a sorcerer. Chester A. Arthur was known for being like kind of a rambunctious, like a rambunctious partier sort of guy. Like that was his whole deal. So maybe a sorcerer. Or isn't there a D&D class where that's kind of the thing? It's like they're yes, that is a mustache. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that beautiful sideburn and mustache. Ooh, that's a good question. That's a hard one. Yeah. Zachary Tyler is so funny. I always find Tyler so funny because it's like all the other guys like try and present themselves as like austere gentlemen, and it looked like Zachary Tyler just came in drunk and angry one day, which is probably which according to everybody he was essentially that. What do you think he would be? Up to I think up to like Trump, Zachary Tyler was the only president we ever elected without any prior political experience, I believe. Barbarian. I agree. You are right. He is. This is 100% a barbarian who's been somehow has made it to highest office. I agree. Taylor is a barbarian. Yeah, drunk and angry. Yeah. What's kind of the eviler version of like a wizard? Like Franklin Pierce here. Yes. Well, Well, Taylor looks legitimately like he really is mad at the photographer, which I always find funny in this picture. He looks very mad at the photographer. What do we think? What do we think about Pierce? Now, here's the thing about Pierce. I think he's a magic user of some sort, but like, he'd be the player. He'd be the player that was secretly planning to betray the group. Yeah, but it's like he's like hiding what he's actually doing, and he's gonna like try and betray the group at a certain warlock. Like he's up to some bad dark magic shit, and yeah, yeah. I don't like Pierce all that much, as you can't tell. I kind of, hey, how's it going? We've gotten into this whole thing about trying to figure out what presidents what D&D class a president would have. It's fun, but is this writing? No, it's not. But we're having fun. Wizard, also dwarf wizard. Easy. Yeah, that's a good question. Good question. I mean, well, let's get the obvious out of the way. Washington, warrior. Washington is a fighter. Okay, that's easy. Jefferson, though, that's... Yeah, I'm inclined with the wizard. A lot of presidents have wizard energy. Yeah. But I'm inclined with a wizard. I think a wizard. I think we've figured pretty much all of them out. James Madison. What do we think? Madison was the author of... I knew that already, Wikipedia. Thank you. That is... yeah. Yeah, you know what? Let's go with Paladin. Yeah. Taft. Ooh, that is a good question. I like how they get, let's see. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. What do we got? I mean, I kind of feel maybe a barbarian, honestly. Taft. Okay, let's see. Taft was Theodore Roosevelt's chosen successor. Roosevelt didn't particularly like Taft and the stuff he did. Taft was also eventually became, after being president, he became Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, which was his real desire. which was his real desire. So he's a paladin. I'm gonna go with paladin, but like he's not. He's like a paladin who just like hangs around the church and doesn't like. He's the guy who kind of assigns other paladins to do stuff. Like he's not a guy who really like actually does the adventuring. Woodrow Wilson. Possibly another. I don't know. Yes, World War One. Yes, he was president during World War One. Also, a bunch of other armed conflicts that, for some reason, history books don't go into too much detail, even though it hints more about what he was up to. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No worry. Woodrow Wilson was the president of America during World War One. Not a good dude, by the way. I don't particularly like him, but considered very smart. Considered very smart, but quite bad. Proposed a. He's the one who proposed the League of Nations that fell apart. Early precursor to the UN. So I don't know. I feel like the default for a president is a wizard. Like I feel the default for presidents are wizards. But kind of feels like a wizard. To me as well. No, he's not clever like that. Warren G. Harding, on the other hand. Warren G. Harding, on the other hand, could very easily be a rogue. Warren G. Harding is one people don't usually get to, but he has more of a rogue energy. Harding was famous more for like his scandals than his actual policies. Super duper corrupt. Got caught having a couple of affairs. One of the biggest controversies at the time that ever happened in American history was the Teapot Dome scandal, where he secretly sold a bunch of government oil land to his friends. So I think kind of a rogue. I think that's a very rogue energy. Not in a good way. Yeah. Calvin Coolidge, we've already decided, is a monk. Herbert Hoover. Yes. Okay, Herbert Hoover is... So Herbert Hoover has kind of a weird history in that initially he was quite liked. During World War One, he arranged food rationings to the world. And that was quite popular. Like he arranged massive charity drops and organizations to people, and that made him quite loved. And he was quite good at all that. So he eventually ran for and became president. Then the Depression hits while he's president, and he just doesn't do anything about it. Yeah. We're going to go with Artificer for Hoover. And then Hoover kind of tries to, like, essentially steal the election from Roosevelt. It's a whole thing. Okay. Then we got FDR. We never really decided what FDR is because he has a lot of specialty skills. I don't know. Wizard, sorcerer. Multi-class as a wizard and a sorcerer. Yeah. I could see that. No, not a rogue. Let's see. No. I mean, there's a lot. Anyways, I like FDR quite a lot. Yeah. Oh, and to get the New Deal passed and stuff. Yes, Churchill was a rogue. Churchill, 100% a rogue. But that's a day for. That's a day for. We'll do English prime ministers another day. I don't know as much about them. Yeah. See, the unfortunate thing is, like, a lot of presidents are kind of nerds. So, like Truman, big old nerd right here. Like, Truman is a big old nerd. So, like, and wizards are good for nerds. Sorry, wizard players, you know it's true. You know it's true. That's just the truth. I'm gonna go with. Well, uh, yeah. Well, FDR would probably not. Yeah, I could see that. I, I'm more inclined to make FDR kind of. Honestly, like one of the things, like he theoretically. Okay, this is gonna sound weird. He could even theoretically be a cleric. Yeah. Uh, that's a little bit of a thing lost. Is that, but he to history is that whole element to himself. Yeah, I like that. The Tempest Cleric. Ooh, that's a good name for him. I'm gonna go with cleric. Yes, that's it. He's a cleric. Yes. I think. Did we? I think we figured them all out. You know what? I'm wrong. Barbarian. Which is a shame because Barbarian is a class I play a lot, but no, I think we figured almost everybody out. This is a shame because that's a class I play a lot, but no, it's Barbarian. I didn't want to admit that, but it's definitely that. I think we figured almost everybody. No, we did. We did the early presidents. No, let's see. Let's see. Who have we? Let's see. We haven't done James K. Polk, Millard Fillmore, and we haven't. James Buchanan and Andrew Johnson, I think, are the only ones we haven't done yet. Warlock. Yeah. Warlock. Necromancer. Right? I'm not wrong about this, right? Right. Oh yeah, but I'm not wrong. It's a necromancer. John Tyler is 100% a necromancer. His face is a skull. That's a wizard. Exactly. This guy's a wizard. Yes. Yes, definitely a halfling wizard. William Henry Harrison, okay. William Henry Harrison is a fighter. But he's a fighter that rolled, who had a terrible roll and like had like, I don't know, like one intelligence and one health. Like he rolled like a 1 on intelligence and just tried to go with it and immediately got himself killed. Like in the first, he gets himself killed in like the first session. If you don't know, it's debated exactly how he died, but William, yeah, see, look, Harrison only lasted about a month. He literally got sick on his on the inauguration day. He got sick on the inauguration day. So I'm gonna say he is just he's a fighter. Terrible roll, screws everything up. Terrible roll, dies literally the first session, barely makes it out there, and and then Taylor takes over. Let's see. Yes, we should. That would be a fun game. Yeah. Well, no, in real life, so William Henry Harrison was a noted general. Is the thing. He was a noted general, and so he was like this, like he was a noted general, and then he just like died immediately. That would be a really fun game. I would that would be something I would enjoy. Okay, Millard Fillmore. This is a bard. Right? This is a bard. Or what do we think? Or possibly a monk. For some reason I'm thinking monk, but like Friar Tuck, like not a particularly good monk. Yeah, but he does give Bard vibes, right? You can imagine him with like a lute singing a song. Yes, it's definitely a Bard. Okay, we've already decided. I believe we already decided Franklin Pierce is a warlock. Okay, James Buchanan. Hmm. Arguably, maybe our worst president. Uh, and I'd feel bad for him, but he aggressively sat on the fence about slavery, so screw him. Um, let's see. What do we think? Hmm. I don't know. Maybe a sorcerer. I don't know. Let's see. I actually kind of have to remind myself of what the D classes are. Uh, possibly a bard. I don't know. He in real life was far too like mealy mouthed to like make any decisions. Um, although he was. The funny story with Buchanan was that he was so hated. Like Buchanan was considered so useless as a president, as a political figure, that he was often sent away to all these like terrible jobs because they just wanted to get him away. Like I believe he was like the ambassador to Russia for a long time. Um, and being the ambassador to Russia at that point was kind of like, we all hate you and we want you to go, because that meant it was the equivalent of like a cracked article once compared it to being sent to the moon at the time, because you had to like essentially like travel to the middle of the in the middle of the winter like hundreds of miles in. So that was always the job everybody like hated doing. So hmm. But then he was the only one who like didn't really want to have an opinion about slavery, even though he was clearly pro. I don't know. What's like the worst? Here's a question. What's like the worst multi-class you could do? Like, what would you say is the worst D&D multi-class? I like barbarian wizard because he has no real skills in either. Okay. And I believe the last president we haven't done yet is James. Not James. Andrew Johnson. Why am Andrew Johnson, paladin, but an annoying type, a very annoying type of paladin. The one who is like totally rule obsessed and won't leave people alone. I think that works. Yeah. Well, why isn't it updating? Oh, that's weird. Sorry, my comments weren't updating for some reason. Yeah. I was wondering why people weren't talking. I was like, I guess it just wasn't updating. Yeah, lawful stupid. Yeah. Well, it's just like, yeah, he would not. He would be a guy who would just like, yeah, he would be trying to constantly convert people. He would get into fights. He wouldn't allow anybody to like, yeah, a paladin, but a stupid one. I guess my computer had crashed. The thing I was using to monitor and it crashed. So yeah, I think that would be pretty good. We figured out pretty much every president's D&D class. The guy after, I think the guy after, yeah, was Hayes. Hayes is not a particularly notable president. Not exactly liked, but wizard. Just solely from the beard. That's a wizard's beard. Oh, we haven't. Ooh. Pretty much, yeah. Well, Hayes was quite weak president. Yeah, it's a whole thing. He was a quite weak president, and the Congress was really more in charge. Yeah. Grant is a very underrated president, by the way. I think, in my opinion, at least, Grant is a very underrated president. I think, was that everybody? Did we? There's always a few we missed. There's Grover Cleveland. Did we do Cleveland? I like how I didn't get a. I'm getting very tired now. Yeah. Yep. Grant Civil Rights Bill was pretty much the exact same civil rights bill that was passed in the 60s. Also, just going into it very briefly, Hayes most likely did not win the election. That's also another talking point around Hayes. Is there's a good chance Hayes didn't actually win the election, and it was like a backroom deal that got him in, because it was close enough that it went to Congress to decide, and Congress must picked Hayes over. Picked Hayes probably. So. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It was definitely. There was definitely like a lot of backroom dealings with Hayes. Also, I believe, was he the grandson of? No, 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 no. That this was okay. And then what about Grover Cleveland? So far, hopefully, so far, the only non-consecutive president of the United States, Grover Cleveland, and ruins our perfect numbering system. Um, because of that, which is very frustrating. Um, I will say this. Besides that, one of Cleveland's famous, um, kind of an early conservative. Okay, so a few weird things about Cleveland. He's kind of weirdly bard. I suspect he's a bard, even because what he's most famous for, besides the being a non-consecutive president, hopefully the only one until Jimmy Carter runs, is he had a child out of wedlock. He had a child out of wedlock, and it's not sure it was never certain if it was his kid, but the story gets apparently lot of yeah, definitely a bard, definitely a bard. This okay, so this is Benjamin Harrison. He is actually the grandson of William Henry Harrison. I'm going to say it. This man's a paladin. I've never seen a more stone-faced, unfun man in my life than this dude. Paladin. Yeah. This is a paladin. Then Grover Cleveland again, ruining the perfect numbering. Because it's always a debate whether we should make Grover Cleveland, it should just be the 22nd president or the 22nd and the 24th. And it bugs me to this day. Yeah. I guess. And then I believe McKinley. I believe McKinley is the very last president. Yeah. Yeah, it's very important. He's a paladin. He's a paladin. I believe McKinley is the very last president we have yet to do. Okay, McKinley was Theodore was McKinley's vice president, and McKinley was exactly. And McKinley was 100% a fighter of some sort. Probably. Why am I getting tired, guys? Yeah, dude is a mountain. Yeah, I'd go with a fighter. And I think we figured everybody else out. Right? I think we figured everybody else out. God. When you really look at it, it's like, man. Yeah. It's 4 a.m. for me. And you know how many words I got written? 0. 0 words. And I'm pretty tired now, so I think I'm gonna call. Yes, it was. I'm pretty tired now, unfortunately, so I think we're gonna raid somebody over on Twitch and call it a night. Well, I knew I wasn't gonna get a lot done today. I did get somebody gifted me something, so that was nice. I appreciate that. Let's send the. I want to raid somebody so we can keep. That was a lot of fun.
That wasn't what I was planning, but that was a lot of fun.
Let's see. Let's see who's on. We're gonna spread the love. We'll go with we'll go with exactly. Okay. Okay, guys.